Hello, this is SJ Talks and Life coming back at you with another video. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe, please, and thank you. Brian McKnight is under fire right now because I had to jump on this because it's been all over YouTube and everything, and so it's just certain things that I gotta talk about. I had to jump on it, put my little 2 cents in. You know how that is. Life of a content creator. And to be honest, trying to get my numbers up there too. But this is actually a good point that I'm getting ready to make here. Selective fathering. I did a video on this topic a long time ago. I don't even know where the video is at. I did it so long ago. I think I talked about my baby daddy in that video. Selective fathering. When I look at the Brian McKnight situation, that's the thing that comes to mind is selective fathering. And I noticed that there's some black men that do that. They pick and choose which kids that they want to father. And in his case is the worst case scenario because the current woman that he's married to, is he married? I don't know if he's married to her, or I think he's married to her. Yeah, the current woman that he's married to, and the black woman's fear calls her his preference. I don't know what race she is. I'm not sure if she's Caucasian but the black woman's fear calls her his preference. You know, that's not my term. That's their term. She's not a woman of color. She's not a black woman, and she's got 2 kids. His 2 stepkids. His stepdaughter, he just bought her a new was it Mercedes or BMW or something like that? Just bought her a new designer car, brand new designer car. Rather, I think it's either a Mercedes or a BMW, either one or the other. That he just bought his white or stepdaughter or whatever race she is. She's not black. And his biological kids, he's kind of like I think he had a son that passed away. He's got either 3 sons or 2 sons and a daughter. I think he had a son that might have had a son that passed away. And he's kind of kicked his biological children to the curb. And he captioned it. He put a thing on Instagram saying that something about she was the best daughter or whatever. What about your biological daughter? You know, he spoke really highly. There's nothing wrong with loving your stepkids. I don't want to send the wrong message out here that yes, absolutely. I'm an advocate for stepfathers, you know. There's nothing wrong with loving your stepkids, but don't kick your biological kids to the curb. But sometimes men do that. They have kids, you know, in other relationships, and they'll kick those kids to the curb. They'll divorce the woman or they'll leave the woman, get into a relationship with a whole nother woman, either start a family with her, or she's in his situation, she's already got kids, so he bonds to those kids, and he kind of kicks his other biological children to the curb. He was giving his adult sons, I know he was under fire a few years back because he was giving his adult sons some support, and he kind of used some tough love on them and said, well, I'm not going to keep supporting you guys. You guys need to go out and stand on your own 2 feet. And I think he was under fire about that a few years back. You know, it's like he just put his foot down and said, I'm not going to keep supporting you guys. And then he stopped speaking to him for a time. So I don't know the whole details of what happened between him and his sons. And I do agree that adult sons should stand on their own feet and should get some things going on their own, because they do need to learn how to be men. but he needs to guide them. He needs to guide them in that transition of man. Tough love is not, and cutting things off completely is not always the solution, but it is his job to guide his sons into young manhood and to help them with that transition into manhood. Not cut them completely off. Maybe limit some things, maybe set some limits, but not cut them completely off. Because at the end of the day, those are your biological sons. And that's what it looks like, and it appears what he has done, that he's cut his biological sons completely off, and his daughter. So I don't know what beef he's having with his daughter. Now, everything is not always the way it seems. Maybe he does have a relationship with his daughter. Everything is, sometimes when you're looking from the outside in, maybe we don't have all the facts. We're just basing our assumptions on what we're seeing on Instagram and everything like that. So, I don't want to jump the gun here and create a bunch of assumptions. But he did have, it was a few years back where he did have some issues, saying that he was cutting his sons off. And so that, he said that itself, that came out of his own mouth. So now it seems like he's embracing his stepkids. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. That's wonderful. That's great. But don't forget about your biological kids. It doesn't appear that you have a relationship with your biological kids, and you blowing up your stepdaughter, but you ain't saying nothing about your biological daughter. How does that supposed to make her feel? And so black men, some of these black men out here, they do this selective fathering thing. And sometimes if they don't like the mama, if they got more than one baby mama, sometimes if they don't like, I don't like that baby mama. So they choose not to be in those children's life because they don't like the mama. They don't want to deal with the mama. Oh yeah, that's common in the black community. That's very common in the black community. If a man has more than one baby mama, if he don't, I don't get along too good with that baby mama, so he just kind of kicked them kids to the curb that he has by her. Or I don't like that baby mama. He don't want to deal with her no more. He want to kick her to the curb. He wants to pretend like she doesn't exist. As a result, he's kicking the kids to the curb as well. A lot of black men in the black community are notorious for that. I call it selective fathering. They pick and choose which kids they want to father. And you know what? It all equates to the same thing. The common denominator is you're still a deadbeat. Still a deadbeat. You're still a deadbeat. You can't father these kids over here that you made with this woman, and then the next woman you acting like you father of the year. It doesn't work that way. You're still a deadbeat. You're still a deadbeat. You don't score no brownie points just because you're fathering these kids, but then you're kicking these other kids to the curb. That'd be just like a mother, if she got more than one baby daddy, and she like one baby daddy, but she don't like the other baby daddy, and she mistreats the children from this baby daddy she don't like, but this baby, and some mothers, some black mothers may be guilty of that. There's some mothers that may be guilty of that. Well, I like his daddy, her daddy better, or their daddy better, and then you treat them kids better. But that's even worse because they're all in the same house. That's even worse. Some black women may be guilty of that. But there's black men out here that do that. They got more than one baby mama, and if they had or if they was married or whatever, and they had a bad relationship with her, they kick them kids to the curb. They go and start another family or take on some stepkids. They bond with those kids. They like they mama. So they kick them kids to the curb, and then they father decide to be father of the year with these kids. That's selective fathering. You can't do that. You need to be a father to all your kids. Not just, and it's even a worst case scenario when it's stepkids, because those are not even your biological kids. That's beautiful that you're bonding with them. That's wonderful. But what about your biological kids? What about them? Now, I know you want your sons to stand up and be real men. I get it. But you're supposed to guide them in that transition. It's your job as a father to help guide them in that transition. Not totally kick them to the curb. Set limits. Yes, absolutely. But not just completely kick them to the curb and say, well, get on out there. You're on your own. Because things are hard. I don't believe this kicking kids out at 18 and just, kicking them out of the nest and everything, all like, especially black kids. Because everything is 10 times harder for us. We got to work with our children. We got to help our children. Maybe let your children, that's a whole nother video. That's actually going into another topic. Maybe let your children stay home for a while so they can save some money. Maybe they might want to buy a house or something like that. And with the rents and everything being so high, people can't afford to just jump up and move out at 18. How much money are they going to make at 18? Unless they're going off to college. But that's a whole nother video. But a father needs to guide his sons into that transition. He needs to help guide them, give them guidance. Parenthood doesn't stop at 18. I'm finding that out. It doesn't stop at 18. It just changes. Your role as a parent change. It just evolves. Your role as a parent evolves and it changes. But it's a lot of these fathers thinking that they don't have to have a relationship with their grown kids because the kids are grown. That's ridiculous. The mother still has a relationship, and 9 times out of 10, the mama still got a relationship. I couldn't imagine having that mentality with my sons. My parenting doesn't change. It changes. That's what I want to say. It changes. It doesn't go away just because they get grown. I'm here for my sons, to give them advice, to tell them, let them know when they're wrong about something, and to pretty much to offer guidance, give them guidance. And they may not always listen to me. And, I'm here if they need me, or then they need somebody to talk to, like my oldest son, he would like to get married, and he's having a very difficult time with, meeting a nice young lady, to wife up. He's a good young man. He's got very good qualities. But he's having a difficult time, finding someone to wife up, because he's ready to get married. And you know what? I actually seen that in him when he was younger. It's like your kids. And I knew that he was going to be the marrying type. Now, my other son, I don't know about my youngest son. I don't know about him. He might not get married until he's in his 50s. If at all. But I don't know. He said he will, but we'll see. The jury's still out on that. But my oldest son, he's 33, and he's ready to find a nice young lady and settle down. He said he's already got 2 kids, but he don't want no more baby mamas. But he said he might be willing to have another child if he gets married. So, but he's just a little frustrated because he's having a hard time meeting a nice young lady. And I told him, pray about it, pray about it and ask God to show you your wife, And so this is where his father comes in at. His father needs to be talking to him, and his father doesn't reach out to him like he should. And he doesn't talk to him like he should. But a lot of times, most oftentimes, fathers think that parenthood stops at 18, and it doesn't stop at 18. It just evolves and it changes. Your role as a parent changes as they get older. It never ends. Being a parent never ends. It just changes. Your role as a parent just changes. And these men don't understand that. So when you got young men coming up and you're a father, it is your job as a father to help guide them into that transition. Now I understand how he doesn't want to just give them everything, and because they're not gonna learn nothing. I get it. I get it. I got 2 sons. Because they're not gonna learn nothing. It's gonna be some things they need to learn to do on their own. I get it. But that doesn't mean you cut them off. You cut them off completely. I think that's what he tried to do, is cut his sons off completely, and maybe his sons got mad, and and that's where the division came in. That no, not cut them off completely, but just help guide them. Set limits, yes, but don't cut them off completely. And I think that's where he went wrong in that situation. But now he's buying his grown stepkids cars and stuff. I'm like, did you get your daughter a new car? Your biological daughter? I'm like, did you get her a brand new car? He hasn't had that same energy. I mean, there's nothing wrong with blessing your stepkids. Okay, but you need to have that same energy with your biological kids. You blessed your stepdaughter, you need to bless your biological daughter. Okay, that you need to have that same energy. Like I said, I'm on the outside looking in. I don't know all the facts. I don't want to be presumptuous, but it just appears that he kicking them biological kids to the curb. I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? I think his daughter did speak out, though. I think she did come on social media. I read on somebody's channel that she did come on social media and she did speak out. I think she did said something about, yes, she did, because I was on somebody's channel and I read something that she spoke out. So no, he don't have that same energy towards her. Yeah, she's spoken out. I almost forgot that, but yes, she spoke out. So no, he doesn't have that same energy towards her. That's not okay. He needs to have that same energy with her, his daughter, his biological daughter. Maybe he don't like her mama. That's probably what it is. He don't like her mama, because that's how these men do. They don't like the mama. My youngest son's dad was pissed off at me and took it out on his son and not want to be there for his son because the county filed child support on him. I didn't. The county filed child support, for the record. The county filed child support on him. I didn't file it on him. Now, all the kids he got, you would think he would know the system. But he don't. So, it ain't my fault that, the county filed child support on you. I had to do what I had to do at the end of the day. It is what it is. I got to survive out here. I'm going to do what I got to do. So I'm doing what I got to do as a mother. And, and so he say these guys get mad at the mama, but it's the county that does that. The county is the one that files the child support. I didn't file it. The county filed it. Because anytime you go down to see, at the time, I needed child care assistance. So it doesn't matter what kind of assistance it is. It's child care assistance, Medicaid, food stamps, or whatever. They're going to automatically put the father on child support. That's off rip. So, sometimes they get mad at the mama for the filing of the child support. What, you supposed to go down there and tell lies and stuff? You got me twisted. Who gonna do that? I guess some women do it. I don't do it. I ain't gonna do it. I gotta do what I got to do at the end of the day. I got to do, and they gonna find out. They force you to get that. Yeah, they gonna find out. They investigate. They gonna find out. They gonna be on you until you give them that information, or you're not getting nothing. It's plain and simple. Most women need that assistance, so they comply. So that's on them. And they get mad at the mama. And then they take it out on the kids, and then they don't want to be there for the kids. That was the case for my youngest son's dad. And, well, it is what it is. They do that selective fathering. And then they choose the father, the other children that they have. If they have, well, I like that baby mama better because that baby mama didn't put me on child support. So I like that I'm cool with her. Now, had he came and talked to me, we could have might have worked out something. Well, okay, well you gonna help me pay child care expenses and stuff like that because I wasn't on the county at the time. I was working full time. Now, had he came and communicated with me and talked to me, maybe we could have worked out something, and I wouldn't have had to run down to the county. But he didn't communicate with me. He wanted to pretend like I didn't, and me and his son didn't exist. So I had to, at the end of the day, I had to do what I had to do. Had he came and talked to me, we could have worked this thing out without me running to the county. So these men get mad at the wrong people. They get mad at the mama. They really should be getting mad at the county because it's the county that be doing that stuff. They be filing the child support 9 times out of 10, and that's what they do. Or if they had a strange relationship with the mother, they had a bad relationship with the mother or the wife. Then they say, well, I'm gonna wash my hands of her, and they do other kids too. And then they bond with the stepkids, or they just go and make a whole nother family with somebody else and bond with them kids. But at the end of the day, still common denominator is you're still a deadbeat. You're a deadbeat. So Brian McKnight is looking like a real deadbeat out in these streets. He's looking like a real deadbeat out in these streets. Yeah. Somebody put in the comment section, I was reading on the blog, or was it Facebook? And this guy came in, it was hilarious. This guy came in there and said, he already told y'all, whenever he believes his work is done, he starts back at 1. I was cracking up. That was hilarious. That was so funny. I was cracking up because I type of person. When I start laughing, you can hear me all over the house. When I'm cracking up, you can probably hear me all over the house. I was like, ah! That was funny. He said he didn't already told y'all. Whenever he believes his work is done, he starts back at 1. That's crazy. But yeah, he's looking real deadbeatish out here. Maybe he'll come out with a statement or something. I don't know, but he don't owe nobody no explanation. But hit me up in the comment section and let me know what your thoughts are. How do you feel about men that be doing that stuff? They be doing that selective fathering stuff. They I don't like that baby mama. I like this one. I'm cool with that one. So he gonna be there, or he might think that sometimes the women are still having relations. Sometimes they're still having relations with the baby daddy. I didn't play that. My oldest son, when I broke up with his dad, I cut everything off. Because it blurs the lines too much. They be still thinking they're your man, and he was still thinking he was my man anyway. It blurs the lines. You need to cut everything off physically and everything. But some of these women don't do it. Some of these women are still intimately involved with the baby daddy, and he be thinking that he's still her man, and she tries to have another relationship, then he cock blocks. That's a bad thing for mamas to do that. You need to cut everything off and just strictly deal with him with far as the children, and that's it. Because it just blurs the lines too much, and they be still thinking you they woman, and you ain't. It blurs the lines too much, and so sometimes that be the case, and they're still intimately involved with the baby mama and stuff like that. Then they're gonna have a closer bond to them children. But if this baby mama, he don't like her, then them kids, you know the rest. Them kids, I ain't gonna say the word. but you know the rest. Okay, hit me up in that comment section. Let me know what your thoughts are on this selective fathering, this Brian McKnight situation, this selective fathering situation. Hit me up. Let me know, male and female. Let me know what your thoughts are. And until the next video, be blessed.